Hello, hello. I wonder if there's a way to record a video and not to become nervous about it. Hi, my name is Nadia Kugrashova. Today I want to talk about meditation. So I have come across meditation a long time ago, maybe, I don't know, maybe 6-7 years ago or something. I tried it several times. It never sticked. And I guess to actually develop a habit, you need to come across any activity many times. Many people have to do it, they have to talk about it all the time, and then finally something clicks. So for me, this big event was I moved in with my boyfriend and he meditates daily. So I just couldn't skip it this time, So it has been 11 or 12 days since I started meditating daily. And I know it's not a lot, but I want to share what it feels like, what changes I notice, because there are some changes that are already happening, and how it really helps me. So I guess one thing that you have already understood, being an immigrant and moving from one country to another is definitely something hard, and it takes a toll on your mental health. But even before that, I was always a pretty anxious person. And another thing, I have never dealt with my emotions. I didn't know how to deal with my emotions and feelings, because I think in Russian culture it's also encouraged, to feel strong negative emotions, to kind of suffer, think about difficult things. I didn't know anyone who meditates, so that's one thing. And then I moved here, like there is all this culture about it, and this is New York, so many people do it, so it definitely became easier to get into this habit, even though it took me still, I can say, like 4.5 years to start doing it. So what has actually changed and how do I feel? So I use guided meditations mostly. Sometimes I try to do a little bit on my own, but it's a little bit different, I would say. So in these guided meditations, he draws a lot of attention to the fact that everything that appears around us is something that appears in our consciousness. The image, the memory that is sort of overlapping the image that we see, thoughts, accumulation of thoughts that become your mood and feeling. Something similar is said in cognitive behavioral therapy. So the way the guide suggests looking at it, just notice whatever happens. You hear something, you see something visual with your closed eyes, you remember something, just notice it and basically let it go. So I also have a therapist. And my therapist has said that instead of reproaching myself for thinking about something, actually congratulate myself on noticing that I started thinking about something. And that creates this positive reinforcement to notice your thoughts. So once I notice that I'm thinking about something instead of my breathing, and basically this beginner level of meditation is just being focused on your breathing. Whenever I notice that I'm thinking about something else, I say, hey, kudos for noticing it, and continue noticing breaths. The whole difference between not meditating and meditating, if I don't meditate, I often wake up sort of already thinking about something, and thoughts start rushing in my head. Like I remember difficult conversations, I remember really all the random things happening, and I'm trying to avoid this, because it's unpleasant. And then I go on with my day, a lot of scrolling happens, and my digital addiction kicks in. When I start meditating, I don't get into this constant chain of thoughts. So it brings this feeling of blissful joy, blissful existence. Just remember this feeling when it's an early spring day and the winter is almost over, and you go outside, the sun is shining, and you take a deep breath in, and you just feel good for this 1 second, at least. So I guess meditation is this one breath in multiplied by any number of breaths that you can take during 10 minutes. So I only do like 10 minutes. And afterwards, I don't need to engage into this destructive behavior. I procrastinate less. And I'm actually thinking more intentionally about my life. This just gets me into this state of mind when it's easier to think about your goals, ambitions, who you want to be. You ask this question and you get this clearer feeling of what you want to do. So for example, today I wanted to record the video about meditation. And I guess if I did not meditate, highly likely I would not record this video. It also helps very much with anxiety, depression. It helps with social anxiety. You know, maybe you're having a hard time just getting dressed, getting off your couch and talking to someone, engaging in your hobby or something, just because something is inside is blocking you. I think meditation just eases it. It relaxes you deep inside, and these 10 minutes in the beginning of the day really, surprisingly for me, have a lasting effect on your whole day. During this 11 or 12 days that I have meditated, I have missed several days, and I can tell you I definitely noticed it. It was a lower quality of life, basically. After I started meditating more regularly, I started turning on meditation or doing unguided meditation myself in the situations where I feel most stressed or anxious. Something not super convenient about meditation, you have to be more calm and relaxed in order to meditate. But then when you start doing this, then it's easier to repeat it. So if you want to start meditating, my advice is start doing it when you're in a good mood. When you're already very anxious or very upset, it's very hard, next to impossible, to start thinking about your breathing. If your mind is like deeply engaged with something that brings you suffering. Vice versa, if you are enjoying it, so maybe it's a nice day outside, you're sitting on the grass, or maybe you're walking, you know. I don't know why people never mention walking meditations. I think they're great. I have, one more thing. Once I was on a meditation retreat in Mexico, so there was like a meditation weekend. It was a silent retreat. We almost didn't talk to each other, and we were encouraged not to use our phones. So I did not use my phone for 3 days. We journaled at the end of each day. We had some lectures about meditations, and well, we meditated quite a lot. Some of them were guided, some unguided, and some were walking meditations. And this is one of the best things I've tried, I think. You can walk on grass barefoot, and with each step you either breathe in or breathe out, and you can even close your eyes. It's just such a wonderful thing. So even if you cannot take it to this wonderful extreme of going barefoot on the grass, just try walking. I think it's also a little bit easier to start meditating walking with your headphones instead of sitting. Something that I noticed early in my meditation, and something that stopped me, is that sitting with this upright position, first, like, I had a hard time breathing, and this sitting position made me anxious. I don't know how I overcame it. Maybe something I tried is to lower the importance. I was like, okay, if I become nervous or anxious, doesn't matter, not a big deal. And I don't know, gradually I noticed that it was not a problem anymore. If you don't fall asleep, you can try lying on your bed, on the floor. Try to experiment with the formats, and if there are thoughts, imagine them being clouds. And also one thing that you can try is observing your internal observer. So imagine that you are observing a person who is observing your thoughts, and don't think too much about the time. 1 second of meditation is better than 0, as well as 5 minutes is better than 0, and maybe better than 1 minute. So just try with any amount of time that works for you. The piece of advice for myself is just continue doing it, because I can already see that instead of doom scrolling when I'm anxious, I actually start meditating. I think this is a huge shift. Previously, I just, get more and more nervous and get upset that I'm nervous. And it was just this endless round until I get so tired that by the evening, I'm just tired of my thoughts. And that's how I relax basically, and that's I'm like, okay, now I'm not so tired because of my thoughts, so now, you know, very late at night I can start doing something finally. If you also struggle with this, hi. Now I don't have to kind of exhaust myself throughout the day in order to start doing something late at night. I can actually start doing something in the morning. And believe me, this thing about being able to do something later at night, it has definitely impeded a lot of things in my life. So I think I'm proud of myself, and do the same with yourself. Practice this healthy self-love. Kudos to me for doing it. I will try to report back after I do this, you know, all these videos about I have been meditating daily for 2 years. Here is what I found. I want to record the same video, I guess. So as a bonus at the end of this video, let's just try to meditate for 10 seconds. So sit comfortably, or stay comfortably, or walk comfortably, or do whatever. And just take a deep breath in. Try to take a breath in with your tummy instead of your lungs, like I just did. And now try to focus on your breathing, just normal breathing. Awesome. Good job. You meditated, maybe for the first time. All right, follow me. My name is Nadia Kugrashova, and you can find my other social media links below. See you soon. Bye.